let me go ahead and show you this game. So I played against this guy, Luis. I was playing with the white pieces, and I was back then still an e4 player. So I was playing e4. As you guys know, I played d4 today, but this was 8-year-old Lana, so she played e4 here. So e4, e5, standard game. Knight f3, knight c6. The knights are getting out here. Bishop b5. Look at me playing this Spanish here. So now I'm just bringing my knight out. Knight c3, very standard. Bishop b4. I really don't play this, so I really don't know a lot about the theory here. But it is sort of like the 4 knights, right? I think it's sort of like the 4 knights. So we can say 75% of us played e4 when we start out playing chess. I went d3, just defending this pawn, because otherwise I guess there's the threat of takes, and then knight takes. But d3, we're just defending the pawn on e4. So castles was played. Play the opening that belongs to a country you're in. Yup. So if you're Scandinavian, you play Scandinavian. No, I'm kidding. Castles, bringing our king to safety. I knew about the king safety rule all the way when I was 8 years old, guys. Let's see. I probably didn't know any theory. I was just trying to get my pieces out here, I think. So d6 was played. So far, this is all pretty okay, I think. I mean, bishop g5 once again. I loved pinning pieces at this age. I thought it was so much fun. I just wanted to play aggressively. I just wanted to do all that type of stuff. So I was playing pretty aggressively back then. And I loved pinning pieces. So bishop g5 is a very Anna 8-year-old move, basically. Very, very, very much that type of move. They took on c3, I took back. Look at me taking back the pieces properly now, not like when I was 7 years old. Yeah, exactly. I guess I had to, because my threat in this position after bishop g5 is to go knight d5, threatening to take this bishop and, you know, sort of putting some more pressure on this knight on f6. If we could go knight takes f6 and double up the pawns here, that would be really amazing. So that's what we're trying to do here. That's why black in this position went bishop takes c3, because they wanted to avoid knight d5. So takes and takes makes sense. Okay, so bishop g4. We see another pin going on here. So what do? I went h3. I always like to kick those bishops out. I get scared when someone is pinning me. I only like to pin my opponent. So the bishop took on f3. I guess that maybe, I don't know, I guess you can go for both. I feel like, yeah, I always get happy when they take on f3 instead of like going back. I think that bishop like e6 or bishop d7 would have been really, really good as well. Would have been like, or maybe bishop e6 could have run into d4, d5. So maybe not that move. Maybe bishop d7 could have been a good move. Bishop h5 also makes a lot of sense. That's typically what I do, just keeping that pressure here. But they take on f3. They took and I took back. And in this position, they went h6 with the same idea. And guess what I did? Well, I did the same thing. I took on f6, takes, and then I went queen g3. And this move is not a good one, this queen g3. In fact, I thought that I had taken an f6. Taking an f6 here when h6 makes a lot of sense, because we can take with 2 pieces. We can both take with the queen, or we can both take with the bishop and with the queen. Sorry, all the way up here. So in this position, we would like to go queen takes f6, because what happens then is that these pawns become very weak. In an endgame, these pawns are going to be extremely weak. So, and the reason for that is that they cannot protect each other. It's always going to have to be a piece that protects this pawn, but there's not going to be any pawn that can protect these pawns. So they're going to be all alone. They want to be buddies with other pawns, but they can't be buddies with other pawns. They got to be buddy with the big pieces, and the big pieces are scary and, you know, prioritize other stuff. So yeah, that's the issue with that. So yes, I went queen g3, which is a mistake. We want to exchange here. That's what we want to try to do. a6 was played, and here I did double up some pawns here. That's quite okay. But I was just taking everywhere here. I don't know. I think that I was just happy about all the pieces going off the board, because I was just so scared of anything happening. So I think that I was just trying to get all the pieces out of there. Trade until draw, basically. I think that's what I was doing, Chexy. I had lost so many games when I was 7 years old that I just wanted to finally get a point in a game. Literally, guys, every single game that I found in the database when I was 7 years old, I lost every single one. So, What do you guys think so far? Is this game better than the one I played 1 year before when I was 7 years old? Do you see any improvement? Much better. Yeah, I feel like this one is a lot better, like a year after. I feel like I had more control of the position and of the game. So yeah, there's quite a lot of improvement from this one to the other one. So rook b8. Here I went rook e1. This is a really bad move, to be honest. Rook e1 is not the type of move that should be played. And the reason why is because we're giving the b file to the rook. So we just went to b1 just to get the b file, to gain control of the b file. But now when we go to e1, then this rook is going to be able to activate itself and, you know, get a lot of activity. So after rook e1, rook b2, we're actually just losing a pawn on the spot. So I went rook e1, which already gives an advantage for black. They went rook b2, which is a really good move. Once again, I'm losing one of these two pawns. Oops, sorry. One of these two pawns. I'm already losing one of them. Maybe after this game, Pia taught me to double up rooks, hopefully. In this position, like a really decent move would have been to go rook b3 and try to double up the rooks. We want to gain control of the b file. That's what we want to try to do. So, hopefully Pia teached me after this game that we should double up the rooks. Hopefully. But I went rook e1, rook b2. Rook e2, defending this pawn on c2. And they didn't take. They doubled up the rooks themselves. They got someone who teach them before that they have to double up the rooks. So, rook e2 would have been a good move, but anyway, I mean, it doesn't really matter. In this position, rook e1 would have made sort of sense, just to, you know, to defend this pawn. But, I went rook c1, which doesn't make sense, because the rook is already defending this pawn. I'm just, like, really wanting to keep my c pawn here. I'm really wanting to keep my c pawn here. So, I don't know why I really wanted that pawn. Like, it's a pretty stupid pawn. It's not really doing anything, but I really wanted it. So that's just how it is. I just went rook e2, rook c1. Overprotection. Not a good thing, guys. You shouldn't overprotect something. You should go with your pieces to protect the pieces in need, and not to protect the ones that already have enough protection. But I didn't think about that at 8 years old. I didn't do it. Rook b1 was played here. Probably a bit weird. I mean, rook takes a2, which is having really good. And then you would just like have been able to double up and stuff. So rook takes a2 would have been really good. But yeah, they didn't play that. They should just have taken on a2 and just ran with the a pawn. This pawn on a6 is a good one. A really good one. It's just gonna push until it becomes a queen. It's gonna become a very strong one. So, but they went rook b1. I went rook e1, which is a good move, I guess. Or no, actually, I guess it's okay. Rook e1 just protecting the rook on c1. So we are just protecting that one. They took, and they went queen e6. Probably rook b2 would have been a really good move in this position again, because I can't really protect this pawn. But they are doing their thing here. I don't know. I think that rook b2 would have been better. So queen e6 was played. I went a4 because I didn't want to lose my a pawn baby either. My little a pawn. My little a pawn baby. I didn't want to lose that one. So I just pushed it to a4. Anyway, queen a2 was played here. Trying to get that pawn once again. I think that this is the point when I lose my a pawn baby. Because that's not a bad move. No, I mean, it's not a bad move, but I'm just still losing the pawn. I mean, the pawn is just gone. It's just like I'm waving goodbye. 8-year-old me could just have like literally stood up on the table because I was really tiny and just like waved goodbye to the pawn, you know, like done the actual wave like this. I should have done that to the pawn because the pawn is just gone. So anyway, so queen a2, let's see what I did. I went c4, rook b1, trying to exchange all the pieces besides the queen, getting into queen endgame. Yeah, I still have like queen g4 at some point maybe to get in and try to get these pawns. So it's still pretty okay, to be honest. But I mean, I am worse here. Just because these pawns are so weak. And black is going to be faster. So rook b1. I can't really protect it. Well, I can go queen e3, which is actually what I did. So I went queen e3. In this position, actually, I think that queen takes c2 would have been a good move. Because I can't take back. So queen takes c2 makes a lot of sense here. Queen takes c2. I can't take back because of the pin. Then I'll have to take here. Takes. And then I would just have lost the pawn. So queen takes c2 was a good move. But they didn't play that. They went Queen A1. They really wanted to get the rook exchange here, which is also fair enough. Like, that's also good. I'm gonna lose the c2 pawn anyway. Rook takes b1 was played. Queen takes b1, and then I went up to h2, and then finally I lost my c2 pawn. So finally a c pawn. That's another one we just waved goodbye to. Look at me. Wait, I want to do like a perfect goodbye. Wait. Just like this. This is still playable. It definitely is still playable. It definitely is. So this sort of got us to an endgame. This might have been one of my earliest endgames that I have ever played. Or like at least queen endgames. That's not that often that you get to that. So it might have been one of my first ones ever. Which is pretty cool. Let's see. So I played d4. I was just trying to open stuff up here. Obviously not realizing that I'm blundering my pawn on c4 and on a4. I mean, probably in this position it would have been a better idea to go queen a7, activating our queen. In a position like this, we need to get our queen active as quickly as possible. So queen a7 makes a lot of sense to try to grab all of these pawns and get as much counterplay as possible very quickly. There's some checks there as well. So queen a7 is a very important move to play in this position. But I played d4, which is not a great move. Which is definitely not a great move. So queen takes a4 was played. Queen takes c4 could have been played as well. Anything could have been played. Now in queen d3 trying to defend, I was playing way too passively here. Like even taking and then going queen c5 I think was better than the other stuff. Or maybe not, because I was gonna, oh no, nothing. Yeah, so even this I think is better, just to get everything active. Make sure that the queen cannot move before some pawns are lost or something. This is a disaster. Yes, it is, Charco. This is a huge disaster that we have going on here. It is a big, huge, enormous, I don't know what other words we have to describe disasters, but this is definitely a disaster. So, queen takes a4, queen d3. I'm defending the pawn. So they took and I took. Okay. They took and took. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are 2 pawns down here. But 8-year-old Anna did not think that 2 pawns was that much. Probably. So 2 pawns down in a queen's endgame. That's typically just completely lost. So c5. Please, Anna, tell me when queen d5 at least. Queen d5, that's good. At least in this position, if the queen moves somewhere, maybe we can have queen check and take on a6. If we get this a6 pawn, I think that we have a lot of chances to make a draw. Because we are defending all of these pawns and these 2 pawns are doubled. So we just need to get rid of the little pawn that can actually grow up and become a queen. That's the only thing that we need to get away from here. So this pawn is actually, stopping that pawn. This pawn is, not stopping anything, but it's just doing its own thing here. And then these 3 pawns are stopping these 3 pawns. So we just need to get the a6 pawn for everything to be fine, basically. Okay, c6. Please tell me you took the pawn. Yes. Queen takes d6. Here we go. The first pawn is taken. First pawn is taken, everybody. Queen takes c4. Queen takes c4. This pawn is lost. But hopefully I took the one on c6. And we've been able to exchange a few pawns. I don't really like this position in the sense that now now black has 2 pawns which could become a queen. 2 plus pawns. So that's the issue here in comparison to before, that now black has 2 plus pawns instead of just 1. We want black to have as few plus pawns as possible, even though that means us getting a pawn or something. So yeah, that's the issue here. But okay. So a5, this pawn is just starting to push, starting to do its own thing. This juicer is getting really juicy. It's just becoming difficult for me to stop it. But fortunately, I did find this move queen a8 check, which in a normal world would give me back this pawn or would let me take this pawn. But I was very afraid of losing my pawns back then. I did not want to exchange any pawns. I just didn't want to lose any pawns at all. So I went e5 defending this pawn. That's what I did. Yeah, I didn't take the pawn. I went e5. I wanted to defend my pawn. I know, that's horrible. It's just a horrible move. It's just a horrible move. I mean, it's not like I'm defending everything. Queen here is always going to win back the pawn. So it's not like I'm defending absolutely anything in this position. But, I just didn't know it back then. I thought that I did. I thought that it was just a great move. So e5 was played. I think that they just kept on going with their pawn. They couldn't really, see anything happening. I mean, a4, just keep on pushing. Get that juicer down there. Get that juicer to a1. Make it grow up and become a queen. And then, yup. Let's keep on going, chat. Let's see what happened. a4 was played. I went queen f8. What's the idea with queen f8? Nobody knows here. Not a single person in the chat will be able to know what the reason of queen f8 was. There's no reason. I'm not attacking anything. I'm literally just allowing a3 to happen. Literally. There's no threat, and I'm literally just allowing a3 to happen. On a8, the queen was at least stopping the pawn from going to a3. Like, I mean, obviously it's still lost, but still. Like, at least I might have had some stuff. Like, queen b3, I might have a check, I don't know. Something, but after queen f8, I mean, a3, and it's just GG. Like, I can't stop this pawn. Well, he didn't play a3. Luis went f6 here. Luis went f6 in this position. Luis got scared when I went queen f8, okay? Luis got scared when I went there. He got very scared. He saw that all of his pawns were under attack, and he just said, alright, you know what? I gotta play the very famous move f6. That's what he thought. Never play f6, chat. That's the sentence, and there's a reason for why that is a saying as well. But Luis, he didn't listen to those words. He said, I'm gonna play f6. What could go wrong here? Well, I went queen e7. Which, you know, just, I was just trying to threaten to go f6. Obviously, in this position, I should have taken on f6 and just completely destroyed the king side here, and then just started taking these pawns and then just gone for a draw or something. But I didn't think about that. I just thought for some reason that I had like 3 moves in a row. I don't know. I really did think that at the age of 8, I thought that I had like 3 moves in a row all the time. So I went queen e7. I just saw this pin and I just knew that I wanted to take, and then that I wanted to checkmate here. That was everything I knew. What happened here? Well, obviously my opponent saw this. I mean, Luis, he might have played f6, but he knew that I was threatening to take f6 and then g7. So took on e5, which is a good move, and I took back here. And obviously a3 seems to be the logical move here as well. Right? And he did. He went a3. So here we got a3 finally on the board. So I went queen f5. That's what I did here. So basically, queen f5 check. g6 was played here. And now I start checking. I went queen d7 check. The king went up. I went queen e8 check. King here. I went queen e7 check. And here we got, hopefully we got some queen f7. Yeah, here the thing is that there's queen f7. And once again, if I exchange, then that's just GG because the pawn is just going to promote to a queen. So what did I do? I took on c5. I wanted to take the pawn. Did I care about the pawn going to a2? Apparently I didn't for some reason. Apparently I didn't. Let's see what happened. So a2 was played. I played queen c3 check. Just, you know, to stop this a1 from promoting. Queen f6 was played. I went for another check. Queen c7. It almost seems like we could get a sort of little perpetual. But there isn't really a perpetual here, I don't think. I think the king gets away. But he didn't do that. Luis went back. He went queen f7. So I just checked again, trying to get a perpetual. And here he went king g8. He didn't want a perpetual at this point. So queen c1 check. I keep on checking. I just said, Luis, you're gonna have to tell me, you know, how you're gonna do this. And in fact, in this position, there's one move that just wins the game immediately, which is king h7. After king h7, there's not a single check. And whenever I go queen c3 or something, I can show you. If I go queen c3, it's just gonna be queen g7. And there's not gonna be any way for me to stop this pawn from promoting into a queen. So in that position, after king h7, it's just GG. But he didn't do that. He went king g7 again. But I didn't want to take a draw for a reason. I think that after queen c3, it would have been a repetition. But for some reason, I don't think I wanted to take a draw because I did not go queen c3. I went queen c1 here. I did not do that. Why would 8-year-old Anna not take a draw when she is literally so incredibly lost? I went queen c1 here. I didn't go queen c3 check to make a draw. I think that was 3 move repetition in that case. And obviously in this position, queen f6 just wins the game, or sort of, I guess. just wins the game. But he went queen takes f2, which is not a bad move at all. I went queen c7 check. I gotta keep on going with the checks. King f6. I went queen check. King here. Queen here check. I mean, I could have gone for that. It's probably the best thing to do here. Queen f8 check, winning the queen, and then we're just gonna play queen and 2 pawns versus queen and 2 pawns. That's just the draw, basically. Queen f8 it's just the draw. Queen f8 is just the draw in this position. We're gonna exchange queens. You're gonna promote to a queen, but it's gonna be queen and 2 pawns versus queen and 2 pawns. Boom, draw. But did I see that? No, I didn't. Obviously. Did I say jaque all the time? Probably. Every single time I made a queen chess move, I just went jaque. I did not go queen f8, chat. I went queen d5. I did not see the queen f8 move. What did they do? They went king f6. What did I do? I went queen a5, stopping the pawn from promoting. That's what I was doing. Queen b2 was played. Queen a6 was played. He went king f5. I went queen a5. Went king f6. I went queen d8. King here. This is a really good thing to remember, okay? Really good thing to remember. Very good thing to remember. I went queen g8 check, jaque. I am still playing for a win, not repeating. Yes, I am. I'm not repeating here. Guys, very important move to remember here now, okay? Very important move. This is something that happens actually in higher level chess as well. Happens all the time. You just miss it. He went king f6 again. Poor Luis, went back to f6 with the king. And what happens when you go back with the king to f6? What move do we have then? We have a move which I saw. Finally, a move that I saw. I said jaque, but I said jaque in the right place, everybody. I said jaque in the right place. Little Anna was like this. I went so happy when I saw this move. Queen h8, everybody. I found the move. H-rolled, we found the move, and we went ahead and won the queen there. Which was just, I remember the relief. And how happy I got from that. So yeah, deep move paying off finally. Yes, Waldrumpus. The deep move of not taking a draw when you're completely lost finally paid off. There we have it. Really good thing to remember. Never put your king and queen in the same diagonal like this. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. I sort of did, Blue. I feel like my opponent got so bored by all of my checks. He was probably like, we were in this probably this random place in Spain. It was probably really hot outside and he just wanted to get out, and this little girl just kept on checking his king, and it was like, just get out of here, I'm winning. Just stop. Here went queen takes b2, h5, queen e5, and Luis resigned the game. Luis resigned. So we won this game, guys. This was probably one of my first tournament games that I actually won, especially against an adult. I think that I'm pretty sure he was an adult, this guy, because I was just playing open tournaments. So I think that this is one of my first ever tournament wins. Not taking the fun is incredibly brave. Yes, it is. Koma, I hope that you're happy with this. You said that for this storytelling to be good, I had to win this game. I hope that you guys are happy with my storytelling for this game. I hope that you're proud and happy about me. Well, anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed watching this game, my first tournament win, at least the first recorded tournament win. I thought it would be fun to show you. So, can you see an improvement from this game? And now that you've seen the whole game, can you see an improvement between this game and the one when I was 7 years old? There's progress in years, yeah, exactly. Slightly less missed checkmates, that's good. Missing draws is definitely better than missing mating one. Exactly, Come. I missed the draw, but I'm not trying new that there was a 3 thing repetition back then. So yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Well, here you can see the sort of level difference in 1 year between 7-year-old Anna and 8-year-old Anna.